It's June 12, 2025 on a Thursday afternoon. It's clear skies over Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport, perfect condition for relaxed flight. At 1:38 p.m., passengers board Air India 171 in Ahmedabad, heading for London. Passengers set in, unaware that in just 36 seconds, their journey will end in catastrophe. What caused this modern jet to fall from the sky? Let's uncover the story.
Air India plane crash which killed 260 people.
Disasters say the preliminary report into the crash leaves them with more questions than answers.
कि मैं भी मरने वाला हूँ.
Air India 171, a brand new Boeing 787 Dreamliner, had just taken off from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport, climbing to about 620 feet. Suddenly thrust failed. The pilots issued a mayday within 30 seconds. The plane began losing altitude, slicing through the sky before crashing into the BJ Medical College hostel. Immediate explosion. The impact triggered a massive explosion with flames reaching temperatures of 1,500 degrees Celsius. This was around the hostel's lunch break with approx 35 students in the canteen. Suddenly, the plane crashed into the canteen. No student could understand what had happened, and they saved themselves. Students started jumping out of the windows. Some jumped from the second floor, some from the third floor. The people living nearby reported that when the plane crashed into the medical college hostel, they heard an extreme loud noise. Local residents reported on deafening blast.
There was a boom and fire, and the smoke was so much intense that we were not able to see anything. There was
only one person from 242 on board survives, among which 169 are from India, 53 are from United Kingdom, 7 from Portugal, and 1 from Canada. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, 40-year-old British national of Indian origin, seated in 11A, close to the emergency exit. Bruised and bleeding, he escaped moments before the wreck erupted further. On the ground, 90 students and staff perished, with dozens injured. Nearby residents rushed to help, some risking their lives, others witnessing horror. This crash, India's deadliest since 1996, left the world asking, why did this happen? Was it Air India's maintenance, Boeing's design, or a deeper systematic failure? Let's dig into the evidence. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner, registered VDANB, was an 11-year-old aircraft delivered to the Air India in 2014 and powered by GEnx 1B engines. One newly installed in March 2025 and the other serviced in 2023. With over 1,100 Dreamliners operating globally, this was the first fatal crash in the model's 16-year history. Air India's maintenance records, scrutinized by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation (DGCA), showed no major issues. Post-crash inspections on India's 33 787s confirmed no systematic safety concerns. The aircraft had a clean bill of health, or it seemed. The crew was equally experienced. Captain Sumit Sabharwal, 48 years old, had 15,600 flight hours, including 8,600 on the 787. Co-pilot Cliff Kunder, 32 years old, had 1,100 hours with 800 on the Dreamliner. Both were well trained with no prior incidents. So if the plane was sound and the pilots were skilled, what went wrong? Was it a mechanical glitch, human error, or an external factor? The investigation would soon reveal starting clues. India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau AAIB, joined by the US NTSB, UK AAIB, Boeing, and GE Aerospace, launched a rapid investigation. The black boxes. There are two types of black boxes: cockpit voice recorder and a flight data recorder. Cockpit voice recorders records thousands of flight parameters such as altitude, airspeed, heading, engine performance, and control inputs. It helps investigators reconstruct the aircraft's performance and systems during a flight. And flight data recorder captures audio from the cockpit, including pilot conversations, radio communications, and ambient sounds. It provides insight to crew actions and decision making. These black boxes were discovered on June 13. Despite the flight damage, it was sent to Delhi's AAIB lab, fully operational since April 2025. And the preliminary report released on July 8, 2025 dropped a bombshell. Both fuel control switches were moved to cutoff position seconds after takeoff, starving the engines of fuel and causing a catastrophic power loss. Pit audio captures a tense exchange. One pilot asks,
"Why did you do the cutoff?"
The other replied,
"I didn't."
The two main theories emerged: human error or a mechanical failure. The co-pilot was flying, with the captain monitoring. The switches designed with protective guards were flipped back to run, but only one engine partially regained thrust before the crash. Was this pilot error or something else? The AAIB's report leans towards an inadvertent switch activation with the mechanical faults found in the 787 or its GEnx-1B engines. The preliminary report states clearly no fuel contamination, flap setting of 5 degrees was correct, gear down was normal, no bird strike or weather issues, pilots' credentials and fitness were clear. Both had 787 experience and AI-17 was within weight and balance limits. Former AAIB investigator Captain Kishore Chinta suggested an electronic glitch in the Fuel Authority Digital Engine Control (FADEC) would have triggered the cutoff, or a hardware or software error, a rare but possible scenario. Counters that the guarded switches make accidental activation unlikely, pointing to a procedural lapse or a cockpit miscommunication. Online aviation analysts like YouTuber Captain Steve offer bolder speculations. The rat's automatic deployment, visible as a black dot on the CCTV and confirmed by a distinct sound, indicates a total power loss, a sudden and total power loss in the plane. An undeniable proof of this can be found in Aryan's video. If you look at this video closely, you will see another object below the plane. According to many experienced pilots and experts, this is Ram air turbine. It is a small wind turbine used in emergency situations. Today, nearly all aeroplanes are equipped with it. It is placed right behind the landing gear. If all power sources in an aeroplane stop working, this turbine is automatically deployed and starts generating power by its rotation. It doesn't generate a lot of electricity, but it is enough for the critical electrical and hydraulic systems to function during the emergency situations. It generates electricity by working with aeroplane speed. Air passes by this turbine at great speed and electricity is generated. So the faster the plane flies and the more the height of the plane is, the more effective will the rat work. The purpose behind installing this is that pilots will get time to land a safe place, but unfortunately in AI-171 flight, neither was the plane was too high nor it was too fast. And on top of that, pilots had less than 30 seconds, so the rat couldn't help. But if we can say for sure that the object we saw in the video was indeed the rat, then it can be the proof that there was a total power loss in the plane. These theories remain unverified, as AAIB have found no evidence of electrical or software failure yet. The AAIB final report, expected by September 2025, will aim to resolve these questions. The Air India Flight 171 tragedy has left scars on families, communities, and aviation industry. The crash, just site or 1.5 km from the runway, has sparked debate about urban development near airports. India's booming aviation sector, now the world's third largest domestic market, faces scrutiny over safety protocols and infrastructure planning. The DGCA's mandate for enhanced 787 inspections reflects a proactive step, but questions linger about Air India's maintenance and Boeing's manufacturing process, especially after past whistleblower claims about 787 assembly. A technician working in Boeing factory, Joseph Clayton, said that had found metal pieces under the cockpit near the wires multiple times. The quality manager, who had worked in Boeing for more than 30 years, John Barnett, had said no plane had made at this factory that was safe and airworthy.
And the reason my concern for that is back in 2012, Boeing started removing inspection operations off their jobs. My concerns are with the 737 and the 787, because those programs have really embraced the theory that quality is overhead and non-value added.
Al Jazeera gave a secret camera to a worker and asked him to record footage inside the Boeing factory. This worker asked his 15 colleagues whether they would fly in these planes. 10 of them refused because they didn't trust the quality of the planes.
You won't fly in one. Did you fly in one of these planes?
You can see how over the past few years the integrity of the Dreamliners has been repeatedly questioned. For now, the focus is on healing. Air India and Tata Group have pledged 25 lakh in interim compensation for victim families with support hotlines active. This disaster reminded us that even in an era of advanced technology, aviation is not infallible. What do you think? Was the pilot error mechanical fault or regulatory lapse? Let me know in the comments, and if any updates comes out after the investigation, I'll let you know right here on Quorum.